Here's the weekly update. Today's March 25th. The 95 Camaro, we've got the fuel pump in it, an Aeromotive 340 liter per hour pump. We just need the different relay for it. And then Bill Gates, the 86 Grand Prix. It's GP. We should have just called it Group Poop, but it's Bill Gates. Engine mounts. The mounts that are in it are okay, but they're have the engine up too high. The engine can go down like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. If we can change the mounts, the hood will clear and the factory hood will go back on. Transmission linkage. It looks like I might be able to get the factory column shift to work. We'll see. And then wiring. It's getting close. It's still a mess. This is for the electric fans, which I'll have to figure out where to run those. These are extra wires. I may use this for nitrous relay or something, because this is extra wiring and goes to an extra relay. I need a battery cable. I put my map sensor over here. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but now I'm kind of wishing I had went ahead and left it on the engine. But this is a 3-bar map for future reference. I gotta get this mess cleaned up, and this is extra wiring for the transmission, and I gotta get the inside of this car wired up. This is all wiring for the OBD2 connector and the crank and running signal and all kinds of nonsense going on down here. Still have to wire up the wideband. So I went and found just the nastiest, rustiest piece of channel iron I could find and milled the ends down. Of course, you can't see them, to make this cross member. But it works pretty good. I'm not going to complain. And then the first time I got to see this bottom of this transmission, I realized it's got TCI pan on it. And this transmission is a mystery transmission because I don't really know anything about it. I'm just hoping that it's kind of built up a little bit. I don't know anything about the converter. I just hope something works. I don't know. I got the trunk cleaned out. Found a good place to put a battery. And I found a good place for the nitrous blow down tube. Alright, finally got the sending unit from O'Reilly's, and the one on the left is the factory one for a carbureted 86 Grand Prix, which is just a G-body. The one on the right is the sending unit for a 87 Grand National, which is fuel injected. Now, from what I've read, the Grand National and then the 4.3 Monte Carlos were fuel injected, so they would use this sending unit, and then they also use a specific gas tank for the fuel injected cars. Now the gas tank, from what I understand, has got an extra, like a sump or kind of a baffling deal in it. Well, I'm not buying a new gas tank, so I just bought the sending unit, and this is the fuel pump that come out of the black car, since he went with an Aeromotive. So, yeah, I'm going to have to drive around him using his own fuel pump. I know that's mean, but that's just the way it's going to be. And then this kit came with all this jazz, which is all the missing parts that I was needing, especially this filter. And then I'm going to crawl underneath the car, and I've got some high pressure rubber hose, and some of the rubber lines on the car, I got to switch them over to a higher pressure hose, since it'll have like, I don't know, 60 pounds of fuel pressure on it. And the height of the sending units are the same. This thing will just fall right in place and go. It's just absolutely perfect. If you're needing the part number, it's this one. So, yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna get it going. Maybe it'll start today. It's assembled. This is the one easy thing about this car. I figured it'd be the hardest. Okay, one thing I gotta remember though. The purple wire is for the sending unit, the gray is the power to the pump, and black is ground. And then I have to cut this off and put different connectors on. I thought I would read a couple things here real quick. Two whales walk into a bar. The first one says, "Ooh." The second whale turns to the first and says, "Frank, what is wrong with you?" A teenage boy is getting ready to take his girlfriend to the prom. First he goes to rent a tux, but there's a long line at the shop to get fitted. And it takes forever. Next he has to get some flowers, and he heads over to the florist. There's a huge line for flowers, but he waits there forever and eventually gets it done. Then he heads out to rent a limo, and unfortunately there's a large line there as well, but he's patient and finally rents his limo. Finally the day of the prom comes, and the two are dancing, and they're both happy. His girlfriend's having a great time, and when the song is over, she asks him to get her some punch, and so he heads over to the punch line. Wait, there's no punch line. I screwed that joke up.